Is it possible to create a completely fake MrBeast product and trick the entire internet into thinking it's real? To do this, I need to design a product completely from scratch, send it out to the biggest creators I know, and try to get MrBeast to notice, all while not getting sued. Okay, so first things first, we gotta actually make the product. Since MrBeast is already in chocolate, I figured it'd make sense for him to launch toothpaste. So I went on to Amazon and ordered a bunch of materials to help me basically turn this into teethables. The number one most important thing that I cannot mess up is making sure that teethables looks like a real MrBeast product. And what that means is making sure that the branding and packaging are perfect. There's two different parts we have to design: the box and the tube itself. And the first step, design the tube. Now the tube is really tough because its dimensions are quite weird. I created a logo that looked similar to the Feastables logo and then added a bunch of details to make this look as legit as possible. Honestly, this ended up taking a while, but we finally wrapped up the tube wrapping. I mean, it looks pretty legit. And next up was design the box. Now the box is easier because it's pretty straightforward dimensions, so I got a template and bang, got a solid look for the Teethables box. I headed to Office Depot to get all of these printed, but we pretty quickly ran into a massive problem. I had all the designs completed, but I needed to print out the exact dimensions on my special vinyl paper in order to fit the toothpaste perfectly, which was pretty easy for the box, but nearly impossible for the tube just because of those weird dimensions. I printed out a bunch of black and white copies trying to get the dimensions perfect, and after a few attempts, we finally got it. But it was going to be even harder to physically attach the label than to size it, again, just because of the whack shape of the tube. I was locked in cutting it out, which was stressful. But this had to look absolutely perfect if I wanted to trick the top YouTubers on the planet. But right when I was almost finished, the vinyl paper I was using tore, so I ripped it all off and started over. I reprinted the cover, and this time I was able to get it on correctly. Okay, so after hours at Office Depot, I'm finally back with what is basically the finished product. Now, I think the box looks pretty good. The one problem is the bottle. From the ingredients and use side, it looks pretty good. But if you flip it over, the logo just doesn't really line up in the center. At the moment, I don't think this is gonna cut it. It needs to look as perfect as possible if we're gonna fool the internet and get people to believe this is a real MrBeast product. So I just need to fix this tube, get a perfect product, and then we're gonna start trying to fool the entire internet. This tube sizing was going to be the death of me, but I really took my time, went slow, and this looks pretty legit, honestly. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you for the very first time the next MrBeast product, Teethables. Okay, now I picture this cutting to a super hype montage. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It looks pretty legit. So before we try to fool the entire internet and MrBeast into thinking this is a legitimate product, I need to make sure that people actually think this could be real. So there's 3 levels of people that I want to fool, starting with level 1, my grandparents. My grandparents have a ton of wisdom though. Surely they weren't about to get fooled by... Well, that's level 1 passed. Next level, my friends. These guys watch MrBeast, so it should be a little bit harder to fool them. Or not. I mean, he's not wrong. And finally, the last level, actual MrBeast contestants. Having literally been in MrBeast videos, these guys should be nearly impossible to fool. But Teethables is too strong. So based off those reactions, I think Teethables might be good enough to trick everyone. And today's goal is to start our viral marketing process. I made a Teethables website to further convince people that this might be legit, but the real play here is viral TikToks and tweets. I made a completely new TikTok account, and I'm just gonna be posting videos there of Teethables that hopefully look like they're just filmed by some random person who stumbled across Teethables. And on Twitter, I want to send pictures of Teethables to these like random viral reposting accounts in the hopes that one of them falls for it and actually posts Teethables. So I headed to Walmart to film the content, and I got this random guy to take this picture. But we had a job to do. So I headed in and went straight to the as seen on YouTube section to shoot our first promotional video. Unfortunately, there was a bunch of employees nearby, but I just kind of snuck Teethables onto the shelf, and honestly, it fit pretty well in the section. I started filming the NPC TikTok content to go viral, with the idea being I was just a random dude who stumbled across Teethables in my local Walmart. Then I went to the toothpaste aisle and filmed the same thing, and I was pretty hopeful I got the clips I needed. But before I left Walmart, I had one last mission. See if a random person actually thought MrBeast made this. You know MrBeast?
Yeah, what about him?
Dude, he launched toothpaste.
Are you lying?
Crazy, right?
Wait. Sodium fluoride.
With them convinced, I left Walmart and started absolutely cranking on the Teethables NPC content. I posted 4 different TikToks and DM'd a host of Twitter accounts, all with the hope that something would go viral. So it's been 2 days now since we posted all those TikToks and sent that picture to all those Twitter accounts, and I have news. The TikToks absolutely flopped. None of them has much more than 1,000 views. Yeah, I don't really know how I thought this was gonna go viral. Also, none of the Twitter accounts even responded or posted the picture, which I guess makes sense. So I'm not gonna lie, things are looking kind of dark right now. But I have one last absolute Hail Mary play to hopefully get Teethables in front of the world. At this point, this is the only thing we have left. It is this works or we fail. Whenever MrBeast launches a new product, he'll send out PR boxes to other YouTubers. So I wanted to make a fake Teethables PR box and send it out to a bunch of YouTubers I know in hopes that they think MrBeast sent it to them. So it's time for Teethables to enter mass production. I went online and designed and then ordered a bunch of Teethables PR boxes, which meant going back to the dreaded Office Depot to print out more design covers. I also stopped by Party City to pick up some extra pizzazz for these boxes. Then I absolutely entered mass production mode, putting together enough Teethables boxes to literally last a year. Mass production of Teethables complete, which means the only thing left is to make some PR boxes and send these out to some YouTubers. Here's what's in each PR box: some blue confetti, some pink glow sticks, Teethables itself, and a nice little personalized note. I cranked out a bunch of these as my Hail Mary. Right here lies my last and final chance for Teethables to go viral. Full hope of this rests on the shoulders that these YouTubers think MrBeast sent them this PR box in order to promote Teethables as his new product, but obviously they can't know it's me that sent them, so we need to go in full incognito mode. I mean, come on. No one is recognizing me in this. And you might be wondering how I even know YouTubers to send these to. Well, I work with a lot of creators through my consulting. I've ideated some of Ryan Trahan's top performing videos, designed some of Tyler Oliveira's best thumbnails, and helped several smaller channels reach mainstream success. If you're interested in growing your channel, just check out TylerTalksYT.com. First off, I headed to the post office to mail some to YouTubers that live far away. Then it was time to sneakily drop off my first box in person to none other than Jake Carlini. I also just realized that would be extremely sketchy walking around this neighborhood, but we're gonna do it. So I sprinted in and dropped off the Teethables PR box as clean as could be. No one saw me, or so I thought. Jake's neighbor saw me and was so sketched out that she followed me and got my license plate to report to the police. Alright guys, change of plans. The running and the dropping is too sketchy, so I'm just gonna stand there and like hand it to them wearing all black so they can't tell it's me, just because I don't want to get the cops called on me. So I went to my other friends' houses to hand out the remaining boxes, and it was much more chill, and no police were even close to getting involved.
Wow, here we go. Thank you. Teethables.
What is this? Oh, Teethables!
What? This is not real. Teethables?
But at this point, I was kind of down bad. The failure at Jake's was a huge setback, and I was starting to think that Teethables was doomed to fail. But that's when everything changed. One of the accounts I DM'd like a week ago just tweeted about Teethables, and Chucky, who's like one of MrBeast's top employees, had to respond to the tweet saying that this was fake. And that's when the PR boxes began to arrive.
I just got sent this package that was on my front door. Did MrBeast send me this? Is this real? Bro, there's no way.
Yeah, I just got this package in the mail. It says MrBeast on it, and it says Teethables. I don't know what this is, like some sort of toothbrush or something. I'm so excited for you to be one of the first people in the world to try my new toothpaste. Dude, bottoms up, first time trying Teethables.
My door. What? What in the world?